Okay. So we are on development part. So just give you brief introduction about the yesterday's, and we'll continue today one. So yesterday we started working on variable declaration part. Okay. So it's a never-ending concept. Even when you're touched on of your integrations part and lightning stuff. So we will be work on the variable declarations only. So this is a developer console where we can develop the coding part here. Okay. So there is an anonymous window we have been opened yesterday. Whatever the code you write inside this anonymous window will never store inside a Salesforce. Okay, this is temporarily. We use these anonymous windows to run the batch jobs and to schedule jobs, to check the logics whether they're working correctly or not. Okay, so we will never give this anonymous window for an end user. Make a note of that one. Okay. So first initially we are checking of our fundamentals. So that's why I have been opened this anonymous window. Whatever the code you write inside this anonymous window will never store. Make a note. So we know that I have a value of 10 and I assign that value of 10 to one of the variable and saying to the system this I is not a normal variable, it's an integer. That's it. This is a variable declaration. This is a kind of variable declaration what we have been created yesterday. Okay, and we use system.debug to check the results. Whether it's what are the information is there in the system.debug, it will be printed. So that's what very initial level what we have been checked. So at the same time, when I introduce the variable declarations, we have been discussed about data types. So as I said yesterday, there are two types of data types are there: primitive data types and objective data types. Primitive data types means integer, string, boolean, right? Blob, object, date, time. So all this comes under as a primitive data type. Okay. And there is another option is also called as objective data type. Today we'll see that one. Okay. Before going that, we know how to declare a variable. Okay. So it's just nothing but an instruction what we have been passed on to a system to understand. Okay. I'm just talking with a system actually. Okay. So writing a code is nothing but you are just talking with a system by just giving some handsome amount of instructions to the system. Anyway, coming back, so we know there are so many objects are there in the Salesforce. Go on mute, guys. A lot of noise coming. Sandeep, go on mute. Inspire. Okay, I'll make you mute. So I just make you mute here. Okay. So if you have any doubts, please unmute yourself and you can ask me. Okay. We know that there are so many objects are there in the Salesforce. I want to view those objects. So to view that one, come here, click on this open. There is a objects. You can choose whatever the object you want. I choose the account. See, I accessed the account object. You understand the extension of this one? .obj. Obj means object. So account object. If I want to open a contact, obj, contact obj. Or else there is another option for you. Click on control word directly. Like that. You can choose whatever the object you want. You can open it. Not only that one. Okay. You need not to write a query. So select the ID, select the name, select the type, click on query. The query will be written by the Salesforce directly. Just click on execute. See, it shows the data. Like 35 accounts are there. It is showing all those 35 accounts in this console. So what we have done, I just opened the object. That means I got access of the object. Then I requested whatever the fields I want to be viewed in the format of query. we can call it as query, SOQL, Salesforce Object Query Language. I'll talk this one later specifically, not right now today. Okay, so that you can open a records like this. So whenever a record has been opened, when you click on this open detail page, a record will be opened for you. So like this, so many beautiful things we have been done yesterday. So just this is a backup what I have been explained you yesterday. Let's continue on today's concept. Closing all this stuff. See, now if you want to create a record inside this contact object, what you have done is the question. Clicking on the contact tab, right? When you click on the contact tab, when you click on new button, okay, that means you got access of the contact object, right? That means you got access of the contact object. When you click on contact tab, when you click on new button, you got access of contact object. Now what you do, you fill up the required fields. You're just populating some required fields, right? And what you will do, you will commit the data like this. ID will be generated. Only 3 things you have been done. Again, I repeat, understand the 3 principles now. If you forget about this, you will never create a record. So remember, just whatever the object, either it's a contact or it's an opportunity or a lead or whatever it may be, whatever the object may be. First, you need an access of that object. Once you have the access of an object, you populate the fields. Whatever the field you want to be populate, you can populate it. Okay, I can populate last name, I can populate date, date of birth, whatever it may be. I will populate and I'll click on the save button. So 3 steps: accessing the object, populating the fields, and committing the data. So these 3 options, these 3 principles is very, very important to store a record, right? Similarly, I can also do it from my backend code. First, you need an object access. Control E. How you will get an object access? By instantiation of an object like this. Contact con equal to new contact. You forget about what is this. Don't bother what exactly it is. But if you write like this, you got access of the object. Okay, you got access of the object. I'll tell you, according to me, both are the same. According to me, both are the same. See, the hard-coded 10 value assigned to the variable I and saying to the system, this I is not a normal variable, it's an integer. There is a dynamic today date it will come and it will store into this variable and saying to the system, this is not a normal variable, it's a date variable. And dynamically, I'm giving a new contact object to reference to this variable and saying to the system, this con is not a normal variable, it is an contact variable. That means according to me, all these 3 are same to me. నా దృష్టిలో ఈ 3 ఒకటే. For me, all these 3 are same. These are primitive data types. This is an S object to data type. See, now the contact is acting like a data type. Okay, now you got a space, you got a memory. So we can call this is technically we can call it as an object instantiation. What is it? Object instantiation. The meaning of object instantiation means you're bringing the access of the contact into your program. So you're requesting the contact. Okay, now you have your own object to structure. Now here you are having your own object to structure. So this is the first step what you have to do. Now if you want to create a record inside account, you have to write account A equal to new account. If you are going to go with an opportunity OPP equal to new opportunity. So that kind of object to level access is required. That's the first principle. Okay, I don't bother whether you remember this integer I equal to 0 or date, whatever it may be, but you have to be remember it this one. Okay, so this is the first basic principle. If you want to insert a data into an object, you need an object access. I believe everyone understand, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me now. Okay, so this is a new contact. That means you're getting the access of contact object permission into your program by writing this single line of code. Okay, so this is a S object to data type, and this is a variable, and this is a operator. Okay, a new is nothing but a keyword where a memory is allocated for this object, and this contact is nothing but an object. We can call it as a constructor type of a contact. So technically, forget about all these things. Only remember one thing: if you want to create a data in any one of the object instantiation must be like this, right? Now, going for a second principle. So technically, once I open the object, once I got access of the object, what I will do, I just fill up these details, right? So similarly, con dot last name. I just given the last name. This is a label name, and this is the API name. API names will only referred in the backend coding part. Okay. How would I know the API names? Very simple. Come here. Click on open. Choose your objects. Type like a contact. Here there is a contact object, right? So all these are nothing but API names. My API name is a last name. Here you can see last name. What is the apex type? It is string. So I can give it in the format of a string. Okay, go on mute, guys. Okay, so this is a contact object to reference. Okay, we got a permission from the contact object, and in this object, this con is nothing but a contact, boss. ఈ కాన్ అంటే కాంటాక్టే ఆ కాంటాక్ట్లో ఉన్న లాస్ట్ నేమ్ ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్లో ఉన్న లాస్ట్ నేమ్ దట్ మీన్స్ దిస్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఎ ఫీల్డ్ ఇక్కడ ఉన్న ఫీల్డ్ రైట్ సిమిలర్లీ యూ కెన్ populate whatever the data you want. So I will give birth date. If I give birth date, what is the data type of that one? It's a date format. So I can give like this. Birth date equal to, I will give like this, system.today. You can also give your specific date, but wait for the time being. See, this is a variable declaration, boss. You given a new contact to this con variable. This is also variable declaration, boss. You given a hard-coded value to this last name variable, and this is also a variable declaration. Today's date you are giving to the contact birth date. So everything is a variable declaration inside a Salesforce. Okay, remember it. So the first principle is got access of the object, and the second principle is populating the required fields or necessary fields as per the business. And third principle is you have to commit the data. Commit the data means insert con. This is a DML. There are multiple DMLs are there, like insert, update, delete, upsert, merge. Like this, different DML operations will be there. Okay, this is an insert. Insert. This is first principle. Second principle is what are the required fields you are having, you please fill up that. And third principle is write a DML operation, that means commit the data. What happens? In this con object, there are multiple fields you have been populated. You can populate n number of fields. Okay, and you're sending all those fields in the format of object to structure. And this con is nothing but your own object to structure. Okay, now I will write system dot debug. You know debug, right? Whatever information you write inside this debug, it will be printed. Okay, now let's come and execute this one. See, executed, log file came, so variable con has been initiated. When you scroll down, date has been assigned, last name has been assigned, birth date has been assigned. See, one DML has been begin. Okay, DML has been begin. Okay, the next duplicate rules, any validation rules, any workflows are there, those will be run at the back end. There is a trigger also fired. Okay, now when you see this one, these are called as governor limits. Make a note of this one, governor limits. So how many DMLs you can perform? 150 DMLs. You performed only one. DML means insert, update, delete. Those comes under as DMLs. How many DML rows you can do? 10,000. And you did only one. Okay, anyway, one contact has been created. Let's check the debug statements. See, this is the contact and you got the ID of the contact as well. Okay, so either you can copy this ID or come here. You can see this is a new contact. See, birth date also be populated. See, from coding part, I have been created a record. That's very simple, boss. That's very simple. See, if you want to create a data inside a respective objects, you need object access. Let us say, let me populate a data in the opportunity. Okay, I want to populate data in the opportunity. So to populate a data in the opportunity, first you have to open that object first. See, this is an opportunity object. Yeah. See, this is an opportunity object, right? First, you need access of opportunity object, right? How you'll get access of opportunity object? OPPORTUNITY. Check the spelling, right? Equal to new opportunity. So this is the first principle. I got access of that object. Now I can insert the data, right? Now going to the opportunity and identify, like which fields are required. So when you see opportunity name is required, close date is required, stage name is required. Okay, so you have to populate these three values. OPP dot name. See, opportunity name, API name, backend API name is name. You can see here. Name and untadi, right? So that's why. And that too, it is a string format. So I will give this one name as some sample SMB order. And what else required? Close date is required. What is the API name of your close date? See, I'm referring this, then only I'm writing the code. Okay, we are not, superhumans to memorize everything. Okay, so use the API object. So now, this is a close date. Close date apex type is a date type. Okay, close date. Again, I will give system dot today. -1 you can give, no problem, or else +1 you can give. Addition, you're doing whatever stuff you want, you can give, or else if you feel any problem, give it as a system dot today. Opp dot. What else? Next, stage name is required, right? Stage name is required. Stage, actually front end we can call it as a stage, from back end we can call it as a stage name. So I'm just giving the value as a prospect. What the value here? Prospecting, yes. And now what else? Insert OPP, right? Just click on execute. See, it is inserted. Come here. Click on the opportunity. See, sample SMB order has been created. You got it, right? It's very simple. It's very simple. Now, we know how to insert a data. What kind of an object may be? You just open the object first, get the instantiation of object, and populate the necessary fields and supply the DML statement. If you follow these three principles, you can easily create the data. Okay, so because instead of memorizing the code, follow the process. So general real time lo under code anta gurtupettukoru, right? Endukante if you open a class, you might be see like 10,000 15,000 lines of code. Okay, but whatever the lines of code you are having, there is only the particular processes will be there. They'll follow those process and they will write a code. Okay, so being a programmer, so you have to follow that process, not the coding structures. So that's why I will never explain you how to write a syntaxes. There is no syntax concept for us. Now I came to know the procedure how to create a data, right? Still there is there how to do association of data with parent and child. We'll see that one later. Wait for the time being. Now we inserted a data, right? We can also retrieve the data. Let us see how I can retrieve. See, for example, there is a contact, or else there is an opportunity, right? Or else there is a contact, right? See how I'm getting the data. Select the ID, first name, account ID, whatever stuff you want. You select. Query. Okay. When I execute this, it is giving all the contacts what are available in my organization, right? How many contacts are there? 152 contacts are there. See this, select ID, first name, account name, like this, different options they're asking. See, I'm just asking database, Mr. Database, please select ID, first name, birth date, Last name from contact. It's a normal, general, common English language. Mr. Database, please select ID, first name, birth date, last name from not all objects, only from contact. So that's why it is giving all 152 contacts. I can also write like this: limit 1. The meaning of limit 1 is it gives only the recently created contact, or the whatever it may be. Okay, it will give you the only one contact, limit 1. You have been limitized. Earlier we have like 159 contacts. Now you have been limitized to the one. See, right? 152 contacts. Now you are having only one contact. That means you requested only one contact, recent contact. So that's why it is given this one, right? So like this you can query it, right? So now where this record is available, this record is available inside a system. I want to bring that record into my program. నా ప్రోగ్రామ్లోకి వస్తే నేను ఏదైనా చేయొచ్చు దాన్ని. Okay, so now I want to get this data into my program. See how you can get that one means I can click on Control E. See, if you want to write a query inside your program, it should be in the square braces. Now you have to write. Rhythm is very important. Select ID, comma, last name, comma, phone from contact where limit 1. See this. This is a square braces. If you are writing a query inside your program, a square brace is required for you. I repeat. Okay. Now, ఇందాకేం చేశాను, డేటా ఎలా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేయాలో నేర్పించాను. ఇప్పుడు డేటాబేస్లో ఆల్రెడీ డేటా ఉంది, దాన్ని నా ప్రోగ్రామ్కి ఎలా తెచ్చుకోవాలో చెప్తున్నాను. ఇందాక నుంచి ఏం చేశానంటే నా ప్రోగ్రాంలో ఉన్న డేటాని డేటాబేస్లో కమిట్ ఎలా చేయాలో నేర్పించాను. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తున్నాను, ఆల్రెడీ డేటా కమిట్ అయ్యి ఉంది డేటాబేస్లో, దాన్ని నా ప్రోగ్రామ్కి ఎలా తీసుకురావాలనే దాని గురించి డిస్కస్ చేయబోతున్నాం. సో దానికోసం వీ హ్యావ్ రిటన్ ఎ క్వరీ. సో డేటాబేస్లో ఉన్న డేటా నా ప్రోగ్రామ్కి తేవాలి అంటే ఒకే ఒక ఆప్షన్ ఉంది మనకి. వీ హ్యావ్ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఆప్షన్. దట్ ఆప్షన్ ఇస్ రైటింగ్ ఎ క్వరీ. Just write a query. Okay, when you write a query, that means the only straight line point is you're getting the data from the database. Okay, so what you're getting, you're getting the contact, right, assigned to one of the variable. So I have to explain to the system what exactly this con is. What data you're getting contact data, right? So this variable must be in the format of contact only. If you are getting account data, then here data type will be an account. See, according to me, both are the same. నా దృష్టిలో రెండో ఒకటే. See, according to me, everything is common to me. ఎందుకు కామన్ అంటే ఏమో ఇక్కడంతా డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంది, కానీ కామన్ అంటున్నా ఎందుకంటే I is a variable, con1 is an variable, con is an variable, all are variables. Okay, all are variables. This is an integer variable, this is a contact objective variable, this is a contact objective variable. That's it. Here we got objective permission. Here whatever the data it is there, we brought that into the Salesforce. Now you can check it. System dot debug. You don't require this too. Copy this one, paste it here. Select ID, last name, phone from contact. It will give only one contact to you. That's why you're storing into the contact object to reference. Let's execute this. Now you never performed a DML. You performed a query. You asked a request. See, you got the data, ID, last name, and phone number. If I uncheck this, you will have a governor limits. See, you wrote one query. Out of 100 queries, you used only one query. And out of 50,000 records, you got only one record. And no DMLs is happened. So that's why DML operations, everything will be nothing, right? So that is what your Salesforce is doing. So not only that, not only inserting the data, you can bring the data also. So now you can update your data as well. See, earlier the phone number is, okay, I closed the log. See, earlier phone number is, at the end we are having 6000. Let me change that. So con dot phone, and I'll change that phone number. I'll change that phone number to 512757. Oh no, 512757. All nines, all four nines. Now this is an existing data, boss. This is an existing data. See, I queried it. I queried the existing data, and I am trying to update that. Come here and supply update con. యాక్చువల్గా ఓల్డ్ రికార్డ్స్ ఎలా అప్డేట్ చేస్తారు మీరు? లెట్స్ ఇది ఓల్డ్ రికార్డ్ అనుకుందాం, ఆల్రెడీ ఐడి ఉంటుంది, ఐడి స్లాష్ ఈ అని పెట్టారు అనుకోండి, ఎడిట్ మోడ్లో ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది, లేదా ఎడిట్ అన్న క్లిక్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే ఆల్రెడీ ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ రికార్డ్ను ఓపెన్ చేసుకొని, ఓకే, we will populate the whatever the option you want, you can select it, and you can commit that data like this, right? Similarly, I queried the data and I got the data. In that I'm just manipulating the phone number, and after update, let us check how my contact will be. ఇదేమో బిఫోర్ అని పెడతా, బిఫోర్ అప్డేట్, ఇది ఆఫ్టర్ అప్డేట్. అప్డేట్ కి ముందు నా కాంటాక్ట్ ఎలా ఉంది, అప్డేట్ అయిన తర్వాత కాంటాక్ట్ ఎలా ఉందో తెలుసుకుంటున్నా. క్లిక్ ఆన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్. See, before update, the phone number is like this, 5127576000. Now after update, the phone number is like 51279999. So if you want to view this one, double click, copy this ID, go here and paste it and check it. See, this is the phone number where I have been changed for the existing record. That's what today what we have learned is how to insert data into the database and how we can retrieve the data into your program also. Not only this one, let us say for example, this is a contact where I have been, okay, created earlier, right? I can also bring that contact. Okay, let me copy this one, cut it. See, I can also apply a delete operation. Delete, directly you can write a query. Select ID from contact. Now here all contacts will come into the picture. I don't want to delete all the contacts. where id equal to, so I'm just giving the hard coded id as for time being today. Copy this id, paste it. Now what happens is this query will supply the contact to delete. Okay, so you can directly delete, or else you can write like this. Okay, you can assign that to the contact and delete contact. So what happens is this object to reference, that means whatever the you queried the contact, that one will be deleted. Click on execute. Now also you perform one DML. You can see the DML operation. See, one DML is happened, right? Now if you come here and you refresh the screen, this contact will never be available. It will be available in the recycle bin because it is deleted. That's what you should know. Right now I just showed you how to insert a data into the contact and how we can retrieve the contact data and how you can update the data and how you can retrieve the contact and how we can delete the contact. So this is what is, the first basic principles where you have to be learned, because in the when coming to the in the real time, okay, you have to insert the data, you have to get the data, you have to manipulate the data, you have to delete the data, right? You have to be so much of work on the respect to the objects. You should know where you should be very handy. Right now I showed you on only one single object called as an contact. You have to try with account, contact, opportunities, and some custom objects, whatever the stuff you want, get some handy. Okay, నీకు ప్రొసీజర్ వచ్చేంత వరకు ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తూనే ఉండు. Okay, or else Salesforce programming part will be very difficult for you. So today we have created only single records, right? Tomorrow we will try to associate the data. Associate the data means here we have a reference to data, right? Like I can choose an account number, right? Okay, so tomorrow through your program, okay, we will do such kind of an association. Okay, we will be focused on this, how we can populate these reference fields, and at the same time we have been inserted a single records, right? How we can insert a bulk amount of data, like at a time I want to insert 10 contacts, 100 contacts, 1000 contacts. So how you can do it from your program, we'll see those two things tomorrow. Okay, meanwhile please go through with the Gona limits and do some practice. So that's it for today. This is what I would like to deliver today. Okay, please be hands on here. It's not like an administrative part. Administrative part is very easy. Okay, without my interaction you can do it, no problem to it, but understanding of coding is very important. Okay, if you feel very difficulty, please let me know. Even I will make some short and precise. Okay, so but meanwhile please get some hands on the fundamental things. Fundamentals are very important. నువ్వు ఏ లెవెల్ ఆఫ్ కోడింగ్ అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవాలన్నా ఫండమెంటల్స్ వెరీ స్ట్రాంగ్గా ఉండాలి. ఓకే, అట్లీస్ట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు స్పెండ్ ఫండమెంటల్స్ ఎవ్రీ డే 6 hours. Thank you guys. I'll post this video, go through this one.